Hello and welcome to the Ocean News podcast, an audio series taking you through the breaking news and the biggest stories from the oceanographic newsroom. I'm Rob Hutchins, news editor here at Oceanographic Magazine, and in this episode, and actually with so much to talk about from the newsroom today, I'll be leading us on more of an energetic and invigorating swim across two of today's top headlines. And to give you a flavour of what's to come, those headlines are: Trump officials now question harm caused by greenhouse gases, and AI has been trained to detect fish sounds faster than humans. So with a lot to cover and a short space to cover it in, let's dive in. Now, the risk with covering anything from the Oval Office these past few months is that it's likely to be old news within the hour. But when those developments carry ramifications and reverberations that could be felt for generations to come, it's news that just has to be covered. So today in the White House, amid the talk of tariffs and Russian peace plans, President Trump's administration has announced a cavalcade of environmental rollbacks, led by a potential move to scrap the official 2009 finding that greenhouse gases pose a threat to human health. Yes, leading a barrage of 31 actions to weaken or repeal almost 16 years' worth of US climate progress, including those regulating carbon limits on power plants, exhaust pipe emission standards, and waterways protections, the Environmental Protection Agency is now to reconsider a finding upon which all subsequent climate action in the US has been built. This is the endangerment finding. It's something that was platformed under the Obama administration back in 2009, and a landmark finding that the 6 key, well-mixed greenhouse gases, including carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide, threaten public health. It was a finding that not only ended years of climate denialism under the Bush presidency that preceded it, but brought the 2000s to a close on a note of optimism and progression. Scrapping this finding will effectively tear down all the climate scaffolding built around it over the past 16 years, clearing the pathway for unbridled, and some suggest perhaps unhinged, production, consumption, and pollution. Lee Zeldin, the current administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, has called this the greatest and most consequential day of deregulation in US history, with an added promise to unleash American energy and revitalize the American auto industry. This is all obviously a stark shift from the agency's founding mission to protect the environment and safeguard public health, prioritizing instead a mission, in Zeldin's own words, to lower the cost of buying a car, heating a home, and running a business. All admirable, of course, were it not for the overwhelming stack of scientific evidence behind the truth of the matter that greenhouse gas emissions are continuing to force global average temperatures up and opening the door to more extreme climate change by the day. The rhetoric, of course, shouldn't surprise anyone. President Trump has long hailed this a climate hoax, while building an election trail on the rhetoric of drill baby drill, a promise to unleash the American energy industry. Of course, this all comes to the horror of environmental groups around the world who have suggested that the ignorance of the current administration is trumped only by its malice towards the planet. Jason Rylander, legal director at the Center for Biological Diversity's Climate Law Institute, has said that come hell or high water, raging fires and deadly heat waves, Trump and his cronies are bent on putting polluter profits ahead of people's lives. He's added that this move won't stand up in court, and we are going to fight it every step of the way. From rollbacks to strides forward, we stick with the US for our next story as we dive into the futuristic world of neural networks and artificial intelligence to find that the future of marine conservation and scientific research is a lot closer than we think. Researchers from Woods Hole Oceanography Institution have made a giant leap towards using AI technology to identify individual fish underwater by analysing the noises they make, and doing it in less than half the time it takes your average scientist. So let's start from the beginning. With many of the world's coral reefs under threat from climate change, being able to rapidly identify and track changes in reef populations will be a crucial part of conservation. Coral reefs are recognized as some of the world's most diverse ecosystems and one of the most densely populated. Despite making up less than 1% of the world's oceans, 1/4 of all marine species spend some portion of their life on a reef. With so much life in one spot, researchers can really struggle to gain a clear picture of which species are present and in what kind of numbers. For years, marine scientists have used passive acoustic monitoring to track coral reef activity. The problem is, while tools can be used to analyze these recordings in rather large batches, they can't identify specific sounds. This would need to be done by scientists, by hand, or should that be, by ear? This, admits Seth McCammon, an assistant scientist of applied ocean physics and engineering at Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution, is incredibly tedious work. Not only that, but it's slow too, oftentimes taking years to analyze all that data to a required level. Which is why researchers from Woods Hole have now trained a neural network to sort through all this data, analyzing audio recordings in real time. According to their study, published in the Journal of the Acoustical Society of America, this algorithm can not only match the accuracy of a human expert, but do it 25 times faster. Among the many potentials that success in this area of technological advancement could reach, most exciting for this team is the ability to finally match each unique sound recorded to a fish. It's something that eludes scientists to this day, being able to pin with certainty a call to a specific species of fish. And reaching this stage in research is what McCammon has called the Holy Grail. And with this new development, it's something scientists are edging ever closer to achieving. Being able to do fish call detection in real time, said McCammon, we start to build devices that are able to automatically hear a call and then see what fish are nearby. This level of technology would be transformative for conservationists, aiding them to get a clearer picture of the health of coral reefs in an era where coral reefs need all the help they can get. To learn more about these stories covered today or other stories on news from the Oval Office and across the coral reef ecosystem, head to the Oceanographic Newsroom. This has been the Ocean News Podcast. I've been Rob Hutchins. Thank you for listening.